Hey everyone, I'm Devika and welcome to a new episode on our channel. And today's episode is a special one because it's a requested video, and this video was requested by Jaskirat of class 3. So through her mother, she let us know that she wanted us to discuss this important topic, and so here I am taking up this topic. And thank you so much, Jaskirat, for watching our videos and for asking us to do a video on this very interesting topic. So through your mama, let me know if you like today's video and if there are any more such topics that you want me to do, and I shall definitely do that. So a big thank you to you, Jaskirat. And without any further delay, let's get started and let's look at today's topic of what is the difference between in spite of and despite. So we idly tend to use in spite of and despite interchangeably. Now, is there any difference between these two terms? Is there any difference in how you should use them? So this is what we are going to look at in today's video. Now, in general terms, you can say that these both are identical and that they can be used interchangeably. So to a certain extent, yes, these two prepositions can be said to be identical because they both show contrast. Okay, so both of them kind of mean regardless of something, even though something, or notwithstanding something. So these kind of terms define the use of in spite of and despite. Now, before moving on and kind of analyzing if there is any difference, I want to bring to your notice a very minor thing that I have noticed people do when they make use of in spite of and despite. Now, this particular term in spite of has three words, in spite of, and that is how you write it. But the term despite doesn't take an off after that. So you shouldn't be writing despite of something. So where on one hand, in spite of something is correct, but despite of something is not correct. You always say despite something. So this is one thing that I've noticed people do very often, and I thought I should bring it to your notice, and that's why I just cleared this out. Now moving on to the distinction between in spite of and despite. Now, there's a very subtle difference. Okay, you can go ahead, use it interchangeably, and nobody can prove you wrong. But if you want your conversation or your written material to look polished and sophisticated, then you can make use of in spite of and despite in different kind of circumstances. So I'll tell you how you can identify when to use in spite of and when to use despite. So this subtle distinction comes from the word spite. So you see, in spite of, we have the second term as spite. So this preposition in spite of is making use of the word spite. Now, if you look at the meaning of spite as a noun, it can be said to be hatred or ill feeling for somebody. In the form of a verb, spite would mean purposely hurting someone or say annoying someone. So spite is kind of a word that has a negative vibe attached to it. So that is where you can actually try to understand how you should be using in spite of and despite. So in spite of is something wherein you would use it to show some kind of contempt or rebellion. So if there is a situation wherein or a sentence wherein you need to use in spite of, just see if the sentence is kind of negatively framed, or it shows some kind of contrast or rebellion kind of a nature. So that's when you would use in spite of. On the other hand, despite holds a very neutral aspect. Okay, so despite is used when there are neutral kind of contradictions in any circumstance. So now I shall give you examples of how you can use in spite of and despite. So as I said, in spite of holds some kind of a negative statement or a negative emotion attached. So for example, look at this sentence. I choose to be his friend in spite of the amount of times he has cheated others. Okay, so this particular statement means that this speaker has chosen to be friends with somebody who has repeatedly cheated somebody. So cheating is not a good deed. Okay, so that is something negative. So you are saying that in spite of him cheating others, you choose to be his friend. So that negative kind of a statement is present here, and that's why you use in spite of. Now coming to the use of despite. So despite, as I said, has something positive attached to it, or sometimes a neutral aspect attached to it. So look at this sentence. Despite his pain, he chose to walk home. Okay, so this person has got hurt, his leg might be paining, but still he chose to walk home. So there's a positive element attached to it. So that's where you can use despite. So this is how you can identify when to use in spite of and when to use despite. Again, I would say that it is not wrong if you use it either ways. It's perfectly fine, but just to for you to know how you can make use of these words appropriately, this is how you can do it. So let me know if you found this video informative, and also if there are other such similar words that we tend to use interchangeably, and if you want me to discuss those, I shall definitely do. A few of our viewers have come up with some set of these words, and you have let me know. I shall take them up in the future videos for sure. But other than these, if there are any other words that you want me to discuss, I shall do that as well. So do leave that in the comment section, and thank you for watching today's video. I shall come up with another interesting video very soon. Till then, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.